The advent of interactive storytelling in video games has opened up new avenues for exploring narrative experiences. Today we embark on a thought-provoking journey through the interconnected narratives and themes woven within three gaming masterpieces: the Stanley Parable, the Beginner's Guide, and Dr Langeskov, the Tiger and the Terribly Cursed Emerald, a Whirlwind Heist. Although Dr Langeskov was not created by Davey Wreden, it does have connections to the Wreden gaming universe in some way. These games offer unconventional storytelling approaches and challenge traditional gameplay conventions. Developed by the creative genius Davey Wreden, with Dr Langeskov being created by William Pugh, these games transcend traditional gaming experiences. They challenge our own perceptions, question the nature of storytelling, and invite us to reflect on our own role as players. On the surface, these games may appear distinct, but beneath their surfaces lies a web of connections, Easter eggs, and philosophical musings. Together, they form an intricate tapestry that invites us to explore the boundaries of interactive storytelling and the power of player agency. Throughout this video essay, we will delve into the narrative structure, themes, and interconnectedness of these games. We'll unravel the ways in which the Stanley Parable, the Beginner's Guide, and Dr Langeskov invite us to question reality, embrace our creative instincts, and confront our expectations as players. Together, we will decipher the link between these three games, uncover hidden gems, and embark on a captivating exploration of storytelling, choice, and the boundaries of our own perception. Let's begin our journey into a realm where reality bends and narratives intertwine. Welcome to the interconnected worlds of Davey Wreden. At first glance, these games may seem like standalone experiences, each with its unique setting and characters. However, keen-eyed players have uncovered fascinating links that enrich our understanding of the overarching narrative. Characters like the narrator, whose mesmerizing voice guides us in the Stanley Parable, reappear in different guises across the games. Locations such as the seemingly mundane office environment serve as a thematic thread that weaves through these worlds. Additionally, the games are riddled with Easter eggs and hidden references, rewarding observant players with delightful surprises. These nods range from subtle callbacks to previous games to playful nods to gaming culture and even shared developer self-references. By incorporating these connections and Easter eggs, Davey Wreden and William Pugh invite us to explore these games with a fresh perspective. The discovery of these interconnected elements not only deepens our appreciation for the games, but also fosters a sense of community among players. Online forums and discussion buzz with excitement as players connect the dots, exchanging theories and interpretations.
When I stumbled upon the familiar voice of the narrator in The Beginner's Guide, it blew my mind. Suddenly I realised there was a hidden layer connecting all these games. It's like solving a puzzle, uncovering the hidden threads that tie everything together. It makes the experience even more rewarding.
One prominent aspect that connects these games is their utilization of non-linear storytelling and multiple endings. These games offer branching paths and divergent narrative choices, allowing players to explore various storylines and experience different outcomes. The non-linear nature of these narratives challenges linear storytelling conventions and emphasizes player agency. Through comparative analysis, we will examine the ways in which these games employ non-linear structures and multiple endings to enhance player engagement and create a unique storytelling experience. The relationship between the narrator and the player is a crucial element within these games. The Stanley Parable features a narrator who guides the player's actions, providing commentary and directions that can either be followed or disobeyed. The Beginner's Guide blurs the lines between narrator, developer, and player, raising questions about authorship and the player's roles in interpreting the narrative. Dr Langeskov, however, introduces a comical and unreliable narrator who interacts with the player through humorous dialogues. These games establish and subvert the narrator-player relationship, examining the impact on player immersion and narrative engagement. All three games excel at subverting player expectations, challenging conventional game design tropes and creating unexpected twists. The Stanley Parable surprises players with its myriad of narrative possibilities and self-aware commentary on game design conventions. The Beginner's Guide leads players through a narrative journey that defies expectations and blurs the line between reality and fiction. Dr. Langeskov constantly plays with player expectations, presenting humorous and unexpected situations. By analysing these games, we see how they employ narrative subversion to create memorable and thought-provoking experiences, and how these subversions contribute to the overall thematic coherence of the games. The joy of piecing together these narrative puzzle pieces enhances our engagement with the games, encouraging to explore their depths beyond what initially meets the eye. By interweaving these narratives and sprinkling hidden connection throughout, Davey Wreden and William Pugh invite us to explore the boundaries of storytelling in a medium where traditional narrative structures can be transcended. But the question arises, are these connections merely Easter eggs, or do they serve a greater purpose? Could they be clues to a grander, overarching story that demands our attention? Stay with me while the lines between reality and fiction begin to blur. These games challenge our assumptions and push the boundaries of traditional gaming experiences. Let's explore how they subvert our expectations and prompt us to question the nature of storytelling and our roles as players. In each of these games, the creator weaves a complex tapestry of self-awareness, inviting us to reflect on our preconceived notions about video games and their conventions. The Stanley Parable challenges our expectations of choice and free will. It questions the nature of agency in a predetermined game world, forcing us to confront the illusion of control and the limitations of our choices. In The Beginner's Guide, Wreden presents a meta-commentary on game development and artistic expression. As players, we are given access to unfinished games and personal narrative, blurring the lines between creator and player, reality and fiction. However, Dr. Langeskov takes a different approach, embracing comedy and absurdity to explore themes of deception and performance. It invites us to question our own expectations of a traditional heist game, breaking the fourth wall and challenging our assumptions about the nature of gameplay. Player agency is a key element in all three games, allowing players to shape their own experiences and influence the narrative outcomes. The Stanley Parable offers players a variety of choices, highlighting the tension between freedom and control, creating a sense of unease and existential contemplation. It explores themes of isolation, conformity, and the consequences of our choices, leaving players questioning their own agency and the implications of their actions. In The Beginner's Guide, players are guided through a curated experience, blurring the line between authorial intent and player interpretation. It takes us on an emotional roller coaster, delving into themes of loneliness, self-doubt, and the quest for creative fulfillment. Through intimate narratives and personal anecdotes, it invites us to reflect on our own aspirations and the challenges of artistic expression. In contrast, Dr. Langeskov offers a whimsical and comedic experience, invoking laughter and joy as players navigate a chaotic heist. It challenges our expectations of a traditional game, showcasing the power of humour and absurdity in creating emotional connections. Dr. Langeskov plays with player agency by subverting expectation and placing players in unexpected situations. All three games feature meta-commentary on game design tropes, challenging players' expectations and breaking the fourth wall. The Stanley Parable deconstructs traditional game narratives and explores the player's relationship with the narrator. The Beginner's Guide again blurs the boundaries between reality and fiction, inviting players to question their roles as participants in the creation and interpretation of art. And Dr. Langeskov employs humour and self-awareness to comment on video game conventions and the nature of game design. By presenting these meta-commentary elements, it urges us to reflect not only on the games themselves, but also on our role as players and the impact of our expectations. As we conclude this section, we begin to comprehend the profound impact of the meta-commentary and player expectations found within the three games. The next section beckons. Now we delve into the emotional impact and various interpretations these games elicit from players. In this section, we embark on an exploration of the emotional impact and diverse interpretations provoked by the Stanley Parable, The Beginner's Guide, and Dr. Langeskov. These games transcend mere gameplay, leaving a lasting imprint on players through their thought-provoking narratives and immersive experiences. Now let's dive into the depths of emotion and uncover the various interpretations these games invoke. Each of these games takes us on a journey that elicits a range of emotions, from laughter to introspection, and even moments of genuine surprise and awe. The Stanley Parable challenges our notions of freedom and control, creating a sense of unease and existential contemplation. It explores themes of isolation, conformity, and the consequences of our own choices, leaving players questioning their own agency and the implications of their actions. The three games feature a ton of exploration of existential themes. These games delve into the nature of choice, free will, and the human condition, presenting players with thought-provoking narratives that challenge their perspectives through the use of branching paths, alternate endings, and philosophical dialogues. These games encourage players to reflect on the consequences of their own choices.
This Stanley Parable made me question the very nature of choice in games. It was a mind-bending experience that forced me to reevaluate my assumptions about interactive storytelling. The Beginner's Guide made me reflect on the creative process and the vulnerability of artists. It reminded me that there's more to a game than what we see on the surface.
These games confront us with uncomfortable truths and challenge the established norms, leading us to contemplate the boundaries between reality and fiction, creator and player. They encourage us to examine our own expectations, biases, and motivations as we navigate these virtual worlds. They remind us that the power of a game extends beyond mere entertainment. It can provoke introspection, foster empathy, and expand our understanding of ourselves and others. The impact of these meta-commentaries extends beyond individual experiences. They fuel discussion and debates, prompting players to share their interpretations and personal insights.
These games made me question my own role as a player and my expectations of video games. They made me think about the power of storytelling and the influence it can have on our lives.
Through these discussions, a collective exploration of themes and ideas emerges, building a community that seeks to unravel the layers of meaning woven within these games. The emotional impact of these games lies in their ability to resonate with players on a deeply personal level. They tap into universal themes and emotions, igniting empathy and self-reflection. Through their captivating narratives and thought-provoking themes, these games have inspired introspection, sparked emotional connections, and sparked diverse interpretation. While the Stanley Parable, The Beginner's Guide, and Dr. Langeskov have received acclaim among players, they are not without their critiques and limitations. Some critics argue that the game's narratives can be overly ambiguous or inaccessible to certain players. The reliance on player interpretation and the lack of explicit explanations in these games may leave some players feeling confused or disconnected from their experiences. Additionally, the brevity of some of these games has been a point of contention, with some players desiring longer gameplay experiences or more substantial content, especially in Dr. Langeskov. Furthermore, the subjective nature of these games' narratives and the reliance on player agency mean that individual experiences can vary greatly. What resonates with one player may not resonate with another, leading to differing opinions and interpretations. However, it's precisely this subjective nature that contributes to the unique and personal experience these games offer. The creator's unique approach to interactive storytelling has made a significant impact on the gaming industry, and it's in the emotional resonance and interpretive freedom that we discover the true power of these games. And so we reach the culmination of our journey through the interconnected worlds of the Stanley Parable, The Beginner's Guide, and Dr. Langeskov. These games, crafted by the brilliant minds of Davey Wreden and William Pugh, have taken us on an extraordinary exploration of interactive storytelling, meta-commentary, and the power of player agency. Throughout this video essay, we have examined the narrative structure, interconnectedness, meta-commentary, and emotional impact that tie these games together. We have discovered hidden connections, deciphered Easter eggs, and explored the depths of our own perceptions and expectations. As players, we have been challenged to question our understanding of choice, reflect on the creative process, and explore the boundaries of reality and fiction. These games have provoked a wide range of emotions, evoking laughter, introspection, and even existential wonder. Through the interconnected narratives, hidden surprises, and thought-provoking themes, Wreden and Pugh have created a legacy that extends far beyond traditional gaming experiences. They have blurred the lines between player and creator, shattered our expectations, and invited us to contemplate the deeper meanings embedded within these virtual worlds. But the true magic lies in the conversations, debates, and diverse interpretations that these games have ignited. They have fostered a community of players who continue to unravel the mysteries and delve into the profound questions raised by the experiences. From the nature of choice and free will to the challenges of creative expression, these games have resonated with individuals in unique and deeply personal ways. They have reminded us of the power of storytelling, empathy, and self-reflection. As we conclude our exploration, we can't help but marvel at the profound impact these games have had on the gaming landscape and beyond. They have pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible in interactive storytelling, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of players. So whether you've embarked on these adventures yourself or have been inspired to discover them anew, may these games continue to challenge, inspire, and ignite the imagination within each of us. Thank you for joining me on this captivating journey through the interconnected worlds of these games. Until our paths cross again, keep exploring, questioning, and keep embracing the extraordinary possibilities of interactive storytelling.